A Valley City is calling on its neighbors to pitch in and help to stop a growing problem, and that is garbage truck fires. A series of recent events is putting both truck drivers and people in that area at risk. It's an issue the city says has a pretty easy fix. Team 12's Jen Wall is joining us live now in Mesa. Jen, what can we do to help?
Yeah, good morning to you, Emily. So the solution is simple. Throw your trash away the right way, because when certain materials are just tossed in with the rest of your trash, it can create a dangerous combination. At least 3 garbage trucks going up in flames in Mesa in recent weeks.
It does cause a major safety hazard because obviously we want to keep our staff safe, we want to keep our residents safe.
The fires, the city says, are because some trash is not being thrown away the right way.
If you place hazardous materials into your container and now they come in contact with other materials that have been placed in the trash or recycle containers, and they can either combust or ignite a fire.
The increase in these fires is putting drivers in harm's way and slowing them down while working to keep Mesa clean. The city's Mariano Reyes says there are protocols if a driver notices smoke coming from the back of the truck.
Obviously, if he can safely pull off to a safe area, whether it's a parking lot area, then that's what he would do. At that point, he would notify our foreman. Fire crews would be called out, hazmat crews would be called out.
But if hazardous materials would be disposed of properly, the city adds it would prevent this problem in the first place. Okay, so back out here live, I want to introduce you to Rick Gregory. He is a truck operator here in the city of Mesa. Rick has been through a couple of these garbage truck fires. So, Rick, just go ahead and tell us, first of all, you got out safely, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so what's going through your mind? You're just doing your job, it's a normal day, and you start to smell what?
I start to smell what it smells like a campfire. I've been a front load solid waste operator for approximately 5 months, and it's literally been trial by fire. 3 months in, I had just gotten back from the landfill and picked up a couple of cans and smelled what I thought was somebody having a campfire, and thought it was a little odd. And then I realized, oh no, my truck's on fire. And my truck was sitting approximately 6 feet from a half dozen RVs, and just went through my mind at that moment was, I got to get this truck out of here because I've seen what these trucks can do if they go up. And I just thought, I take a couple extra minutes to get this truck out of here and someplace safe that's going to impact far fewer lives.
And so, Rick, it's pretty shocking. You've been on a job for 5 months, 2 truck fires. And you said one of them was in a mobile home park, which obviously could have had devastating consequences. The other one, tell us where you were quickly.
The other one, I was on the eastbound Santan freeway, the 202, getting off at Arizona to go to our transfer station, and realized on the highway it was kind of the same thing. I smelled what I thought was a campfire and knew immediately, this being the second time, that my truck was probably on fire. And of course, motorists are coming up next to me, seeing flames coming out of the back of my truck. You need to take care of this. So again, immediately my first thought in my mind was, I need to get this truck off the road into someplace safe. So pulled off the freeway, went down Arizona Road a couple of 100 yards into an empty parking lot, and luckily I was able to eject the contents of my truck into the parking lot, and the fire department showed up immediately and put the fire out.
Okay, Rick, so quickly before we send it back to studio, what's your message for neighbors, not only in Mesa, but across the entire state? Because you have truck drivers all over Arizona.
Yeah, just be aware of what you're throwing away. If there's any question in your mind of what you're throwing away, if it's something other than just your typical household like food trash or construction trash, if it's any kind of battery or anything flammable, don't put it in the trash. Find out what you have to do with it. And that's just as easy as getting on your phone, getting on the internet, and finding out where to go. Every city has their own hazardous material waste facilities that you need to take this stuff to, so it doesn't cause any more fires and risk any more lives.
All right, Rick, thank you so much for joining us live. We appreciate it. We're glad you got out okay and that nobody else was hurt, guys. We are live this morning from Mesa's hazardous waste facility. This is where you can bring all kinds of chemicals. So coming up in the next hour, we're going to show you how they separate everything when you drop it off to make sure it gets disposed of properly.